more training for the Arizona Rock and Roll 2022 Marathon, Half Marathon, 10K and 5K training. This week we're going to talk about marathon nutrition. Basically consuming the right amount of calories, consuming the right kind of calories, and little tips on how you can improve your nutrition, or some tips that might work for you. So right off the bat, consuming enough calories when you're training for a marathon, especially the full marathon, your activity levels are high every day, your energy demands are higher. So training hard for a marathon requires a lot of calories that you'll be burning, and the more miles you run, the more calories you're going to need. So your activity level is going to determine how much calories you need. Okay, so don't be too scared about not eating calories. You need calories. The ones that don't eat enough calories are usually the ones that get burned out. Okay, so it really depends on your activity level, and I got two formulas here for consuming enough calories. The first one is just your body weight times 16 calories per pound of body weight. So for me, it would be 145 pounds, that's how much I weigh, times 16 calories. Okay, that's on the low end. The low end meaning moderate activity level. So that calculation, 45 times 16 equals 2,320 calories per day. That's on 16 calories per pound of body weight. 145 pounds times 20 calories would give me 2,900 calories per day to eat. And that's how much I would generally go by on the off season. Like moderate activity means like just light activity, 45 minutes, maybe 3-4 times a week. That's moderate, light moderate activity level. So you take your body weight and times that by 16 to 20. 16 on the low end, 20 on the higher end. That'll give you your daily caloric levels. Okay. So for in-season training, like right now, what I'm doing, up to at least an hour every run, up to an hour and a half to 2 hours, 6 to 7 days a week. Training's high level. I demand a lot more calories than that. So for that, I'll use a formula of 145 times 20 to 25 calories this time. Okay. So 145 times 21 is 3,045 calories, okay, per day. Higher end, 145 times 25 would give me 3,625. So those are my caloric needs on a training plan. Okay, so those are just general guidelines. Don't obsess over them. It's just to give you a general idea of the caloric needs, and to let you know that you do need to be eating a lot of calories. And most people do overestimate on that, how much calories they need per day. And the example I always like to give is, if you run 3 miles as a training run, say you're training for the half or the 10K, 3-mile training run, that's 300 calories. Every mile is 100 calories. So you burn 300 calories. So you're hungry. You go to Burger King, you get a Whopper, that's 600 calories right there. So you ate more than double what you burned, okay? And in the long run, that's what it comes down to, is calories in versus calories out. So women are usually on the lower end of that spectrum for caloric needs, Men are usually higher, the higher caloric demand, okay? So now that we talked about how much calories, it's about what kind of calories you need now. So there's 3 basic kinds of calories you should be focusing on. First one is carbs, which makes up the bulk of your diet. 60 to 70% of your diet should be carbohydrates. Carbs are fast-acting energy. It's quick. It goes into your bloodstream fast right now. Okay, so it's easily digestible, gets in the bloodstream, and provides energy for you. So there's 2 types of carbohydrates. One type is bad, and the other type you should focus on. The one to focus on is called complex carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrates are stuff that occur naturally. Things like whole grains, brown rice, vegetables, fruits, and oatmeal. Those things have a little bit of fiber in them, and they take longer to digest, and they're healthier for you. So most of your carbohydrates should come from that. The ones you want to avoid are called simple carbohydrates. Simple carbohydrates are like, you know, candy bars, sodas, processed foods. Those are low in nutrients, meaning that you don't get a lot out of it except just sugar, you know, and that goes in your bloodstream fast, and you know, it's not too good over the long run. So carbs are we need that for energy. Okay, 60-70% should be that. Fats should be about 15 to 20% of your diet, and I like to emphasize healthy fats: butter, olive oil, coconut oil, animal fats, things that occur naturally. Okay, and what fats are good for is it's a slow burning fuel. You know, it's like a big heavy log you put on the fire. It takes a long time to burn, and it's very accessible. Like right now, I'm burning fat just sitting here. You know, everybody just burns fat when they're just sitting there. And as you train, you burn more fat. You become better at burning fat. So becoming better at burning fat is trainable with marathon training. You just got to take your runs easy, be in that fat burning zone, and you'll get better at burning fat. And fat can last you all day. You know, the skinniest runners out there, they have a lot of fat on their bodies to get them through marathons, ultra marathons. So with training, you can get better at burning fat, and it's something that you need. Your cell membranes, they're made of fat. Okay, a lot of vitamins you take into your body, they don't absorb into your body without fat. So it's called fat soluble. Okay, so fat is required for the breakdown of vitamins. It's required for the health of your cell membranes, your cells, and it's good for long, slow energy, and it keeps you. It kind of how do I say it? It avoids big drops in energy. Okay, if your energy level is good, then it's gonna. With too much sugars, your energy is gonna be going like this all the time. Okay, and the last one is proteins, meats, eggs. You know, that stuff. It should take up about 10% to 15% of your diet. And what that is good for is rebuilding muscle tissue. Because when we're running on the roads like this, you know, we are pounding, boom, boom. You know, that's causing a lot of damage to our muscle tissue. And the protein will help rebuild that. It even builds up new stuff, you know. And running is a breakdown sport. I always say that to people. You're not going to be building big legs with running. You're going to be breaking them down. And that protein will kind of minimize that, okay? And if you're on the slower end with the marathoners, you're going to be out there for 5, 6, 7 hours. Over a long period, 4 hours plus 5 hours, that's when your body starts breaking down protein and using it for fuel, okay? So if you're out there for a long time, 4+ hours, I would recommend getting a little protein in there as well to avoid breaking down muscle. Because your muscle, you know, your body will break down muscle for energy, you know, and you don't want that to happen, okay? You want it to break down fat instead, okay? So with that said, we know how we get a general idea of how much calories we need and what kind of calories to eat, and now some tips about what you can do to kind of improve your eating habits or your nutrition, I guess. And really it's the basics about nutrition. Just like with training, the basics will get you 95% of the way there, you know, meaning that you keep it simple, you do the same things over and over again, and you find what works for you, you know, and yeah, you just find what works for you. And diets, they all work, but you know, the thing is, if it's sustainable, if it's doable for a long period of time, you know, I do the low carb thing, and it works for me for my ultra marathons, you know, and I do it at specific times. But long run, you know, what's sustainable, that's what's going to work for you, okay? So the first tip I can give is to do a grocery list. Show you a grocery list here I have, okay? So if you don't buy the bad stuff at the Bashes or Walmart, then you won't have it in here to eat, you know. So here's a shopping list I kind of got. It's got milk, cereal, rice, eggs, bread, potatoes, meat. It's got chicken, steak, and ground beef, vegetables, coffee, fruit, water, diet soda, milk, butter, olive oil, okay? So as you can see, it kind of has all the basics on there of what we just talked about, okay? Not much of the processed stuff, you know, and if you stick to that, or if I stick to that and I go to the store So that's a good tip. And another one's with liquids, like we just talked about. A can of soda has about 150 calories, Pepsi, versus a can of diet soda, which has 0 calories. Water, probably, even less than that, I bet. None. And the flavored waters just have 0, so you don't realize it, but your liquids are a big source of calories that you might not know. Starbucks, that might be a sweet drink, you might have 300, 400, even 500 calories in it. You don't know that, Okay, so the next tip I can give is just watch out for ands and add-ons. Ands meaning breakfast and a donut, lunch and a cookie, lunch and a piece of cake, lunch and an extra Pepsi, a big thing of Pepsi from each market. Those add up over time. It's usually the ands that end up adding on and adding on. You eat 3 meals a day. That's been proven to work over a long period of time. But what you add on to it will make a big difference. Everybody gets those cravings in the middle of the day, lunch, then a candy bar, that's an extra 100 some calories, dinner and ice cream. So that all adds up, so just be careful about that. Get a shopping list together of healthy stuff that you like. What did we say? Watch your liquids, what you're drinking, how many calories you're drinking, and watch the add-ons and the ands that you add to your meals each day. It's good. It depends on what you're trying to do with your body. If you're trying to lose weight, then the ands aren't, too good for you. But if you're lifting, you're trying to put on muscle, then the ands are little extra things that you can add on that'll help you build muscle. Okay, so that's a little bit about nutrition and